Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family, for episode 4, I believe, of reacting to hot takes. If you enjoyed this video when it's finished off, you can go and watch part 1 and part 2 and part 3. But basically, I asked you guys on Twitter, name me your football hot take, and I will react to it for a video. And as you can see clearly right here in front of you, we've gone through a lot of the hot takes. This is me sending the link of the video back to them so they can go and watch their own hot take being reacted by myself. If you want to be part of these in the future, make sure to be following me on Twitter and be ready for when I ask for a question and hot takes or whatever it may be. But now we will get into this game, this video. But as you can see, there's so many I've sent to. All right, there we go. So first question here, hot take: without using Barca and Lamine's name for views, you'd have had less followers than me. Do we want to check how many followers they has? 4. You know what? Number 5. Yildiz will shine more at Inter. I mean, Inter have a better team, have a better squad. I don't think that's a hot take than Juventus. So obviously, if you put Yildiz there, he would look better. The only thing is that Inter play without number 10s, play without wingers. They play with wing backs. I don't exactly know. Maybe what's his name? Shivu, the new manager, exactly what he's playing now with Inter. I haven't watched them this season. But maybe Yildiz could play as a 10 then at Inter with like Thuram and Lautaro ahead of him. That would cook. But I think so, yeah. I genuinely believe Yamal is a one-club player like Lionel Messi. I know if he goes outside of Barca, he will struggle to make an impact. I disagree. I think great players make a great impact wherever they go. But obviously sometimes it's the wrong situation and so on. If you look at history, most La Masia graduates struggle outside of Spain, Barca. Now the question is, why is that? Okay, so first thing, we're not going to look at all La Masia players, because the players that Barca don't keep usually aren't the best. So if they don't keep La Masia players and they flop, that just means they weren't that good players. But if you take a look at the best La Masia players that we know of, Carlos Puyol stayed this entire time at Barca. Iniesta, yeah, left, but like when he was washed. Xavi left when he was washed. It's like Messi's the only one that we saw, and even he was semi-washed when he came to Paris Saint-Germain. I think Yamal, there's a likelihood he will stay a one-man, but I don't think so. I think when you look at maybe at Pedri, that looks like a one-man. Yamal, I don't know. It's more about his personality and so on. But I disagree with the La Masia take. Fabio Ruiz is better than Vitinha. I love Fabio Ruiz. I love Vitinha. I love João Neves. And I think when it comes to our midfield, after some games, I'm like, Neves is our best midfielder. Then I'm like Fabio Ruiz. Then I'm like Vitinha. And that's why our midfield is by far the best and most complete midfielder in the world. I don't even think it's that hard of a take. Not because Vitinha is not the best and Fabian is better than him, because Fabio Ruiz is so good and so underrated, and he's very close. He's there to the top. I think the top 4 midfielders in the world are the 3 PSG midfielders and Pedri. So it's not a hot take. It's not a bad take. It's a hard take. I love Fabian. I love Vitinha. Don't matter for me. Eden Hazard is better than Ronaldo without goals. Yeah, I do agree. Eden Hazard impacts a game more than Cristiano Ronaldo if you remove both players' goals. But if you add both players' goals, Ronaldo impacts a game more. Hala will overtake Cristiano's goal record in the UCL. I do think so. The only thing that could potentially stop Haaland is potentially injuries. He does have a little bit of injuries. And one thing we've seen with both Cristiano and Messi, why they were able to collect so many of those records and everything, is because of their immense fitness and so on. So yeah, I do agree with that. Ligue 1, better than Serie A, La Liga and Bundesliga. I do agree. I think Ligue 1 deserves his shout. It's been growing year by year, season by season. And it's a level now where it's the closest league that's competing with the Premier Leagues. Leonard Carr's better than Estevao. Again, both Leonard Carr and Estevao, this is their first season we're seeing in a top club, in a top European competition in Europe. Both have looked good in the league, in the UCL. Obviously, Estevao has played more. He's gotten more minutes because of less competition. I mean, Leonard Carr is competing with a hot Gnabry and a Olise. Estevao is competing with an injured Palmer. And I don't know who else they have on that right wing as well. But from what I've seen, The small moments, I think Esteban was better, but let's call it is an insane talent as well. So the thing is, they're so early into their career. Let's just enjoy them, and then we can see who's the better player. But I think it's too small of sample size to say that. Juan Garcia will be the best goalkeeper in Barca history. I think the best Barca goalkeeper in his history is probably Victor Valdez, at least from our time. Maybe I'm forgetting someone famous from the 90s, 80s, but I don't think it's that hard for Juan Garcia to become the best goalkeeper of all time, because Valdez, he was a very good keeper, but there are many better keepers than him. So I do agree with that. From so far what we have seen, I think Juan Garcia definitely has the potential to become Barca's best keeper of all time. Modern football is more about PR and marketability than actual ability. Even commentary is exaggerated. Seeing the rise of Mbappe, Jude Yamal recently has confirmed this for me. Jude being the worst offender because other than his physicality doesn't possess world-class ability. And Wind 112, I completely, fully agree with you. PR and marketability has never been bigger. Before, let's say I'm the president of Fiorentina. I want to buy a player. What do? I send scouts to watch the games. Why? Because all I care about is the player's footballing ability. Now, it's not that. It's marketability. How many Instagram followers does he have? How clean is his face? What hair does he have? How many earrings does he have? How many followers does he have? How much money can we earn of sponsors? And then, as you said, it's the lies and exaggeration from the media, from the commentators, from the journalists. I mean, you're seeing players come out and say the most outlandish stuff about other football players. And the issue is the sport has a lot of casuals, as it's always had, and they just suck up that casualty. And then I like that you put Mbappe, Jude, Yamal, because all three of them are like the three PR demons from our recent time. Obviously, Yamal and Mbappe, I can give them like it's okay, because they're so good. Like Jude is the one I don't understand. And I like how you even agree with it at the end that he possesses no world-class ability. I think the world-class ability that Jude possesses is his goal scoring. I think as a goal scorer, he's very good. He scored very tough goals. He knows, where to be, positioning in the box. So I think as a goal scorer, as a striker, he's good. He has world-class ability. But apart from that, no. So yeah, I fully agree with this. And yeah, it's the rise of the new generation and how PR can fool a sport. Squad depth better than squad quality? I'm trying to think of the difference. So squad depth is the amount of players. Okay, now I understand it. So like squad quality would be... I think squad quality would be PSG and squad depth would be Chelsea. So Chelsea basically have 35... mid to good players. PSG have 23 great to world-class players. And you think this is better? Obviously, what we've noticed from this season, that can lead to injuries and maybe and so on and so on. The issue with the other one is it's over-reliance, and then you don't have that good of a squad. If you're going to have a large squad depth, it's not going to have the best squad quality. So I disagree. I think squad quality is better because then you have better competition and... not as many bad players. Rashford, one of the main Barcelona problems? I disagree. I think Rashford has definitely been a net positive for FC Barcelona so far this season, especially with the Rafinha injuries, Yamal not performing the best and injuries, Leva not performing the best and injuries, Olmo not performing the best and injuries. So I think Rashford has definitely been a net positive for Barca. PSGINT is better defending than Araujo. Araujo. Wait, is that... Twitter, man. Twitter is crazy. I think Araujo... I think Araujo definitely has... I'm someone that rates my physical ability a lot. My pace and power, my physicality, all of that. But I'll give it to Araujo. Let's not lie here. But... up here... I think I read the game better than Araujo. I think I would make smarter decisions than Araujo, especially under pressure. So yeah, I agree. Mbappe will turn into... No, so I don't agree. Mbappe will turn into one of the best Champions League players of all time. His mentality is different now. So far, no. His mentality against Alaves maybe is insane, but his Champions League mentality is still woeful. It would be... interesting to see if Mbappe can turn that around. And if he turns that around, he's at Madrid, a club that has won a lot of Champions League. And if he wins a couple of Champions League, he could retire as one of the best Champions League players of all time. But at the moment, Mbappe doesn't even make my top 50 list, top 40 list. The best 3 clubs in terms of everything. Historical achievements, current success, trophies, fan base, etc. are Madrid, Bayern, Barca, in that order. And no Prem team get into the top 4 either. I think AC Milan have to be there. Wait, historical achievement, current success, trophies. Okay. You know what? Yeah, that's cool. And I do agree that no Premier League team makes it. And what we will see together, I think the closest Prem team is Liverpool. But what we'll see soon is Paris Saint-Germain knocking on the door. Obviously, maybe we lack the historical achievement. We have current success. We have trophies. We have huge fan base. Right? PSG knocking on the door. But I do agree with that. If Kylian wins the World Cup, is the top 5 player of all time? No. Not in my opinion. Maybe casuals' opinions. And I don't like how people always say all time because people don't care and people haven't watched Pelé, Maradona and all of that. Let's just do our time. I think our time, you got Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar as the top 3. I think Neymar second, but that don't matter. That's the top 3. Who do you have in the number 4 and 5 spot? I think a lot of people would say different names. Bayern fans would say Neuer or Robben. La Liga fans would Madrid maybe pushing Bale, Benzema, Sergio Ramos, Modric. Oh, okay. Now I know 3, 4, and 5. It's probably Iniesta, Xavi, Iniesta, Modric, something like that. So yeah, I think Mbappe could potentially go into that, especially if he wins the World Cup. Vini wasn't robbed of a Ballon d'Or last year. It was Bellingham who deserved it more than Rodri. I completely disagree. I think neither Bellingham or Rodri should have been in the top 5. I think Vinicius was the one that showcased individual ability that led to team success. Bellingham obviously did very good in the beginning of the La Liga campaign and the Champions League group stage, when the games mattered less. But in the Champions League knockout stages, he was nowhere to be seen, and his Euro campaign wasn't that bad. Wasn't that good. Rodri, I mean, he was just good in all competitions. He wasn't nothing special. So I've absolutely no idea how Rodri won it, and you feel he deserved to win it. Nico Schlotterbeck is top 3 best centre-backs in the world. I think Schlotterbeck is amazing. If we didn't have Pacho, I would have wanted Paris Saint-Germain to do everything to get Schlotterbeck over the line. Perfectly suits the Paris Saint-Germain system. Top 3 is a bit too much, I think, but he's definitely up there. Top 5, top 7. Chelsea will make it further in the Champions League this season than Arsenal, even if Arsenal beat them in the Prem game today. Obviously, the Prem game was played, and it was a draw between the two teams. I don't know. I think Chelsea and Arsenal, similar level expectations going into the Champions League. Maybe one making round of 16, 1 quarter, or the opposite, or maybe 1 quarter and 1 semi-final. But I don't know. Yammar's already one of the best creative players the sport has seen. Even in the game he's clowned in, like this season, he creates always at least 1 sitter or very easy chance alongside everything else. And in pretty much every game shows insane creative ability. I think this is a great comment because this is someone that talks about Yamal, but talks well about Yamal. You see, some people say, oh, he's by far the best player in the world. He's the next Messi. But here he's talking about one thing, creativity. And I discussed this with Tosin before. When you look at Messi, when you look at Ronaldo, when you look at Neymar, when you look at R9, when you look at Haaland, you take a lot of these young generational attacking prospects. One thing I always mention is how much athletic they are than Yamal. Yamal is actually tall and strong for his age, also as being a winger, a bit like Cristiano Ronaldo. But then they also had, the other players had insane pace and were much better finishers than Lamine Yamal. And then dribbling, basically majority of them had dribbling. But one thing that Yamal has, that those players didn't have, is great all the way up to elite playmaking. And it usually you do not see players because usually your brain picks that up later in the career. Messi became a better playmaker throughout his time. Neymar became a better playmaker throughout his time. Mbappe became a better playmaker throughout his time. Same with Haaland. Same with Cristiano. Yamal started off with that playmaking. So when it comes to Yamal, I'm already thinking, how good will his playmaking be when his brain matures even more and he can read the game in an even better way and he can try the risky and audacious stuff. So I do agree with that. I do agree with that. And I'm not going to say the sport has seen, because as I said, we didn't watch that much of the 90s. But if we go strictly from 2010, that's basically ish where I start to watch football. I put Messi, Neymar. I put De Bruyne. And then it's a bit hard. You can go maybe for central midfields like Xavi and Iniesta, but I don't think... no, I wouldn't put them. I only have Messi, Neymar, De Bruyne. Maybe I'm missing someone obvious, but those are the only three like playmakers I can think of. So yeah, Bilal, you end off with a great hot take right here. And that finishes off the video. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed this video. Shout out to everyone for sending in your hot takes. And as usual, that's been from boy PSGINT. And as usual, allez Paris.